Hello, welcome back to Access, not at E3, but still talking about E3.
In the E3 microphones.
Yeah, E3 microphones, and this is our annual football, which is the
football.
best video, FIFA or PES.
And exactly. Or it's not really which is the best, it's that this is the time of year where we finally get to play the new versions.
Yeah, we've played the new versions.
And we just talk
They've
about
both changed.
a lot, yeah. So in different ways.
Let's do FIFA first.
Okay, yes. So you interviewed Nick.
I did, and it seems that...
I've interviewed Nick. I spoke to him a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it's got lots of sensible improvements,
Yes.
I felt, FIFA this year. There's no big, gimmicky, box-friendly thing that they're promoting. It's just lots of little sensible improvements that improve the game.
Yeah, and so we did 7 things it fixes already.
Yeah.
That's on the channel at the moment, and it is those. One of the things that struck me was that they've been talking about how the engine is strong. Like that's like the line they're saying. So there's no like we've remade goalies or it's we remade goalies a couple of years ago, and now we're trying really hard to make them as good as they can be. And it's like that with everything. I think they realised that last year's game was like really unbalanced in terms of pace. So everyone was just, if you play online, probably I'd say 2 out of every 3 teams that you play in the upper divisions are Real Madrid because of their pace, and they want to kind of bring back. I think the philosophy they're going with is we want people to be able to play with any team in any way they like and have like an equal chance of winning as long as that team.
It's a nice sentiment, isn't it? But everyone's still going to play as Real Madrid and Barcelona.
But that's the thing, Barca weren't as good this year as they should have been. Whereas they were the best team in Europe this
that's
year.
true. By a long way.
So I guess and for me, the stuff where you play it and you actually the stuff that you feel as you play was the defending is like stronger. It's quicker to get back at attackers once they've gone past you once. There's like a few new animations and stuff. The slide tackling feels great.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm one of these people who like I will swear at the telly if I go in for it. If I press circle, I know what I'm doing. I've used the alternate controls. If I press circle, I want my person to go to the ground, and I don't care if I miss the tackle. That's fine. If I do a foul, I probably meant it. The half lunge, which they've been doing sometimes, or even just completely staying on their feet, drives me crazy.
Yeah, it's incredibly hard in FIFA 15 to foul someone.
Yeah,
like really
I'm not
hard.
fouling
like
people.
someone's through on goal. I'm just going to take this yellow, maybe even a red here.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no,
Sometimes
nothing's
it has
happened.
to be done. So that's so now they're like missiles again. So they're a bit longer. They're a bit like firmer. There's like more animations about how to actually get the ball, and it feels like it's more in control. You're in control, and also if you tap X, because one of the other things I do is I find it incredibly frustrating when you're playing, especially against a good team, when you do a slide tackle, you win the ball, and the ball kind of goes loose because it's not completely clean, and then you take longer to get up and recover than the person you've tackled, which in football is like, that's just not realistic because you carry momentum and you just get up fast, and now if you tap X, you can get up at the end of your slide tackle and kind of get back involved. So loads of the defending is much better. They have like precision, what do they call it? Passing, I think it's called pass with precision, but it's basically pinging the ball really quickly with the modifier using like R1.
FIFA can sometimes feel like not very urgent when you want to get a ball forward, and it's like there you go, and the receiver will be like,
it's
rolling
the
and
ball.
and now if you're Tony Cruz and you see Benzema up there 40 yards away, you can just smack it hard and accurately.
And I think the idea is that you have to time it, like the timing's going to be fairly challenging, and the player who's receiving the ball has to be, obviously the better your timing, the easier it is to receive the ball, but that player's going to have to be quite skillful, otherwise it could just ping off at a weird angle and be quite frustrating in the end anyway. But the idea is they're kind of reclaiming the midfield with that, and so players they're doing more interceptions in midfield, so you can't be bypassed quite as easily. And the other thing they're doing is you can dribble without touching the ball, which is cool. Feels quite so you can kind of move around the ball, you can feint this way and that, so you can kind of combine, so you're holding down R1 to like stay off the ball while like just moving along with momentum, and then you can still use the trick stick to move your body and to feint this way and that, and like it's probably because it's new and novel, but when I've played it, that like against people, like it just ruins them. They're just like, because you're just so unused to the animations lying to you in that way. Why are you lying to me?
And the thing I thought was most impressive was how the defensive AI now marks space, sees danger, and doesn't just blindly follow people.
Dude, it's so important.
It's like, amazing.
So many times I will be playing the game, and there's a break on, especially with the pace of last year.
Yeah.
And your fullback will be like crab jogging backwards, and I'll be like, just run like into that space. And now they will leave their, they've got like better intelligence for knowing when space is dangerous, and not for just when people are dangerous. So I played that, and then like compared to PES, now like for me FIFA, I was like bang 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 bang. Here's everything that is new in new FIFA, and I like it, it's good. When I played PES, I was like, I like it, it's good, but I didn't really get, like, you know what I mean? I couldn't really put my finger on why, apart from I beat Dave and I scored some pretty good goals. So do you have like more
PES
of
just feels
an
really
organised...
nice. Not really, no, because it is just a kind of a feeling I got when I started playing PES this year. It was like, oh, it's way better than last year.
Yeah.
Even though I loved last year's game, I've now realised that last year's game has a bunch of stuff wrong with it, because this year's game has fixed all of those things.
So is it weird? Like, I guess to give people just a bit of context so they know the ways in which we play these games. So in the office, we are almost entirely PES, and you and Dave in particular have got like a
Master League.
a Master League,
going,
which
yeah.
I sometimes drop in and out of. They allow me to play.
But you play FIFA all the time with your son.
At home, yeah, I'm like more, but not like it's normally co-op seasons with him against other
Yeah.
people. So that like, so I guess that might reflect the specific things that I get frustrated about FIFA, and about PES as well. For me, the stuff that I think I preferred FIFA last year. I liked PES and I like dropping into the Master League. The stuff that would frustrate me would be just sometimes like the length of time it would take to turn seemed to be like. Compared to FIFA, there was like less fluidity in the movement of the players.
Specifically with PES, there are a few things it's definitely improved. One is the physicality of it is hugely improved. Like battling for, aerial possession of the ball.
New jostling controls, like actually, I do
triangle
remember
is just shoulder barge.
Yeah.
Like if you're quite often in PES, players can feel tethered to the ball, or
Yes.
like the game will decide that a player has possession of it, and to dispossess that player is really difficult.
It's hard. We come across that a lot because
Yeah.
when you're playing with three people, which I guess does stress the engine, all on a co-op team. If you press through ball,
Yeah.
and we think it's for one of us, and then like the game has like had originally thought it was for the other one, and then we kind of just like run.
You're trying to get to the ball with the player the game doesn't think the ball is
Was
for,
intended
and it's
for.
so hard.
Yeah.
But in the new PES, that's been
Does seem
fixed.
freer, yeah.
It really seems like they've put a lot of effort into making that not happen. Like you can just, it's more organic the way you can grab players, and intercepting the ball is much easier this time. Like in old PES, the ball, you'd have a midfielder, the ball would go past, and the game would be like, no, he's not supposed to have the ball here, and
Just
you
reach
couldn't
out,
get it. You
touch
just
the
couldn't
ball.
get it.
Yeah.
There was nothing you could do. You just had to watch it go past. Now there's interceptions all over the place. Like there was an instance where I was playing a guy called Andre who works for Konami, and I was desperately jabbing X trying to intercept this pass, and my player like desperately lunged for it and got the ball, and it was an amazing kind of connection between my actions and the actions of the player.
There needs to be like a German word for the feeling you get when you realise there's a new animation in a football game that does exactly the thing you want. Yes.
That would be the word, yeah. Yes. But it was incredibly satisfying being able to do that. And yeah, it's far more physical. Interceptions are much better.
Yeah.
And just the whole thing feels more fluid. Like turning in PES 2015 was quite sharp.
We're not, to be fair
Yeah.
to the game as well, we are not playing in the Master League with the best players. We are,
No,
you
we
know,
have
we're-
like ordinary players. We have bought some pretty good players now.
Yeah, but it's a mixed field.
I mean, I was playing as Germany, and then I played as Juventus in PES 2016, and I had Tevez, and you could really feel
I had Tevez,
the nippy, bullish
Small
strength
like,
and
changes of
speed.
direction,
Yes,
big
changing
acceleration.
direction with Tevez and whipping a shot in felt good. And
Yeah.
PES, I've always felt, does player individuality better than FIFA.
Yeah, I think that's
like
probably
you
true.
really do feel the difference between players like Tevez, or if you've got someone like, I don't know, Ibrahimovic.
Yeah.
You feel the difference in technique. They kick the ball and they move differently.
Languid.
And yeah, I really
Ibra.
it's improving all of it. So basically, both games
Both games are great.
have
It's what-
really improved.
Well, to sum up my thing about PES, like I don't know why it was better. I had, I think, 3 games with Dave. And we were, the first one was, it was funny, like the guy from Konami was over our shoulder saying, I'm really glad you're not capturing this, lads, because this has been turgid. You know what I mean? And we're like, thanks, man. But he was right. No, he was right. And then our next games like livened up, we scored more goals. And I don't know, I mean, the magic of we talk to Konami and to EA every year just about kind of what they're doing, and like there's tons of complicated things that they're doing in the middle, but the end game is we want to make it good when you score a goal. Like that's because the magic moment of football is scoring. And whatever, so I've got less of an idea of how they've done that in PES, but like I scored, I think in the end 4 goals across those 3 games, and by the end, you know, like flowing moves, like crosses into the box, and the feeling that feeling of scoring a goal was like, you know, it was spot on. It was perfect. And like I said, I was really impressed, having been less impressed last year with the amount of changes that FIFA made to kind of the core gameplay. This year, like there's loads of really interesting stuff going on. So it's good times.
There are 2 genuinely excellent football games coming out this year.
Yeah, and we're gonna learn more. Hopefully, Gamescom is often a big time when we get to another hands-on.
Well, they're both coming out in September this year. PES is out first.
Yeah,
which is a massive change.
A couple of weeks apart. So look out for that.
Make sure you stay tuned to the channel, because I'm sure we're going to have more on PES and FIFA coming up. And please subscribe.